Hello, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. I know over here on my end it's not going too well because I have two computers, neither one of which the webcam wants to work on, so now here I am recording the video on my phone. But at any rate, marketing is what we're talking about today, particularly at the international level, right? A big thing to consider when we're doing marketing, especially when we're marketing to a group of people who are different than ours, is to consider those cultural differences that will separate us. You know, this would apply domestically. You know, if we live in Pittsburgh and we're marketing in California, there's going to be some differences, but that's even more so when we're in Pittsburgh and we're marketing to Germany or to Saudi Arabia or to South Korea, etc., etc. I read a study, or I guess an article on a study called Religion in International Marketing. And I think you could argue pretty easily, so we won't elaborate on it too much, that in many ways religion kind of forms many of the basic fundamentals of the morals and ethics within a society. So religion, when we're looking at, you know, fitting in a society, is a pretty good starting point, I would think. And the article goes on to elaborate a little bit more specifically on some of the bigger religions, like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, and makes mention of some smaller sects of bigger religion. It mentions Catholicism and also mentions some smaller religions in general, like Taoism and some other ones that really aren't that popular. But at any rate, it addresses some big issues, you know, some big things that stick out about each one of these religions that we really need to keep in mind, as well as some more minor things, just like the things that make up the religion and how they can affect marketing. You know, religions like Islam and Judaism, especially Islam, are really, really strict. So we cannot market in those countries the same that we would be looking at marketing to them, you know, in the United States. Basically, it summarizes by saying that the best way to go about integrating into the religion, not violating any of the religious norms in international communities, is to develop a relationship with religious leaders, whether it's an imam, whether it's a priest or a pastor. At any rate, create some type of relationship with the religious leaders in the region that we're looking at marketing in or doing business in general. And to be honest, I'd never really thought about that before. I'm Catholic, so I think all the time about talking to Catholic priests and getting some reasoning from them. But when dealing internationally, I always thought about, you know, vaguely doing your homework and, you know, looking up somebody who might know or watching some YouTube videos. But I never thought, oh, hey, if we're going over there, why don't we get a hold of some of the religious leaders? At any rate, this study and this article is important to keep in mind because it really helps highlight that really no culture is like ours. Some Christian cultures are similar on the Christian basis, but on the on the religious basis, countries like Islamic countries are extremely different than ours. In some countries like Saudi Arabia, as we've discussed in previous lessons, alcohol is illegal. In many Islamic countries, under Sharia law, women need to be covered up with burqas at all times and not have any skin showing. We could go on all day about specific cases, but at any rate, it's true that some cultures are vastly different than ours, and something like a woman showing some skin, not even like, you know, showing some skin like some cleavage, but just showing like facial skin in some countries is an extreme taboo. If we're marketing in a country, if we're doing business in a country, we have to consider these things. You know, we keep talking about Islam. It's an easy one to talk about because they have many strict rules and regulations. Mecca, one of their holiest and most religious cities, you can't even enter unless you're Muslim. So if we wanted to try and be selling product or services or doing business in that area, and we don't have Muslims working in that area, good luck. It won't work. So, in summary, as this case study helps lead us to, we need to do our homework. I always say that. I keep saying that in this class. I keep saying that any time that we're talking about doing anything that we're unfamiliar with, we need to do our homework. When we're marketing, our marketing in many ways is our way of getting across our brand. It's getting across our message. If people don't know about us, they're not going to be buying off of us. It's not going to be worth us going overseas to do business. So, in this case in particular, when we're dealing internationally, we're going to have money on the line, we're going to have our reputation on the line, we're going to have our sales on the line. We need to do our homework. As this study suggests, part of our homework might be as simple as just talking to some of the religious leaders in the region. If we are sincere and genuine and want to know the truth, they're probably going to be pretty open to giving us the truth and to helping us out. As long as we're sincere and we're genuine and don't have that egotistic approach. So, I guess this conclusion is going a little bit longer than I expected, but the important thing is to do your homework. There's many ways to do that. YouTube is a great resource. You can learn anything on YouTube. Talking to the religious leaders in the area is a good idea. That's going to help get you enculturated in that culture. Doing surveys or talking to people in the region, etc., etc. It's the 21st century. We have 2 computers and a cell phone in our households, most of us. The answers are out there. It's just a matter of us finding them. Thank you. Have a good day. And hopefully this isn't too culturally clashing, but God bless.